Hey folks, Keenan with Winnipeg Market Watch back again today talking about a very interesting topic in the real estate community right now, and that is buying a home still a great investment? Now folks, this whole topic and the renting versus buying debate has been talked to death by the community, but I'm going to offer a perspective that I think a lot of people haven't necessarily shared in the most articulate way so far, and I think you guys are going to find a lot of value in what I'm about to present. So let's tackle the big question. Is it still a good investment to buy and own your own home? Stick around. I think it's one of the best financial decisions you could make. And obviously for individual circumstances, there's going to be special cases, but it's always the exception that proves the rule. So first things first, why is it that owning can be so powerful? And one of my favorite reasons, benefits of home ownership, I should say, is your ability to use your home equity to weather financial storms and solve life problems. And that comes through the power of refinancing. Now, I already know you guys are going to be jumping into the comments going, well, there we go. Another realtor telling me to refinance my home to do I don't know what, but like this is exactly what creates problems. And you know what? I am not doing exactly that, but what I am saying is if you ever find yourself in a financially precarious position and you're a renter, your only options are to either borrow money from a family member or a friend, or take on high interest debt of some kind, or default. All of which are probably not something that you really want to be doing. However, if you own a home, you likely have the option to refinance your home and get access to very, very inexpensive debt, usually historically between 2 and about 6% in Canada. And when you compare that to the alternative, where even the best credit lines are going to be 10 to 12% at the best of times, for a lot of people, it could be over 20% if it's a credit card or some other high interest form, hopefully not worse, but there are predatory lenders out there that'll take advantage. All of a sudden, that looks pretty attractive at being able to solve whatever problem it is that you happen to have. And for those that rent, like if they do save money on a monthly basis, which is going to depend highly on their physical geography, it likely could be the case that it's still not enough to make up for the difference than the capital you would have been able to access by tapping into the equity of the home that you own in the first place. So that is a very big, flexible safety net reason that I think home ownership is a fantastic investment. It provides you a big, big security blanket to weather those bad, nasty financial storms. So the second thing is home ownership is guaranteed to make you at least slightly richer monthly. And that guarantee is only if you have a mortgage, because markets can move. But when you pay your mortgage every month, we all know that money does not just evaporate. It takes a portion and pays interest to the lender, but you get your principal portion, which is actually a reduction of debt. And paying down your debt technically increases your net worth every single month. Now, the other cool thing about real estate, and one of the big benefits of being a homeowner in general, is as a homeowner, you have the advantage of time. As long as you're able to pay your mortgage every single month, you can theoretically stay in your home as long as you like. And that means that you get the benefit or the downside of the market, depending on, how lucky or unlucky you are. But as we all know, real estate and most other assets tend to go up over the long term. So if you own your own home and you're paying your mortgage every single month on time, and you live in a normal city, probably in North America, I don't know the other parts of the world, pardon me, I'm a Winnipeg realtor, is what it is. Your home is probably going to rise in value most every year, okay? So those two opposing forces of your home tending to rise in value over the long term and the debt that you owe, your mortgage, going down over the long term are a recipe for your home equity to increase. Now, a lot of you might be thinking, how do I know what my home is worth in any given year? Like I get my city tax assessment or my rural municipality tax assessment, but like I don't think that's accurate. And you're probably right. It's very unlikely that it is. So I'd say this, no matter where you are in the world, odds are there's a realtor who'd be willing to give you a free market evaluation with no strings attached. Call them and just say, what do you think my house is worth? Like I might sell, I'm not sure. This is where it's at. Like, what can you do for me? And most of them would be happy to answer. I know I would be. I would never say no to that. So take that for what it's worth. But long story short, you pay down your debts. Your home tends to rise in value over the long term. You have a very long time horizon. It is a guaranteed way to make money. As a renter, the idea is you would take whatever difference there is between the costs of owning and your monthly rent and invest that money into some sort of productive asset. Usually stocks is the popular way to do that. And if executed perfectly, it can be a very lucrative way to build wealth. The truth is, for most people, as soon as the force of making that investment is no longer there, they tend to skip contributions. And they tend to do things that they wouldn't otherwise do with a home. Like, for example, panic sell, or not buy 1 month because they think the market's too expensive, or any other thing. And that throws a wrench into their perfectly calculated Excel spreadsheet plans. So, third thing, and this is probably the most important thing, at least to me, when it comes to the benefits of home ownership. And that is the security and the stability of having a place from which you cannot be evicted. Okay? As a renter, you can have a lease, you can have all the security in the world. Ultimately, landlords can misbehave and they have power over you in a way that you might not like. And all it's going to take is one bad experience of a landlord wanting you out. And you can know every rule in the book to make sure that that doesn't happen, and watch that landlord make your life not very fun. Okay? Having a situation where you own your own roof and nobody has power over you is very, very, very beneficial for a life building standpoint. And also, when your lease eventually does come up, because most landlords are going to not just let you have a 10-year lease on a building, you might get evicted. And if you do, you don't own it. So it's not to your discretion. It literally is entirely up to the person who has power over you. So if you want a secure place for you and your family to build a foundation of wealth and to raise children and to build a social circle and to save your money and to become a member of a community, home ownership is possibly the best way to go about doing that in a way that is going to provide you and your family the ultimate level of security and hopefully comfort as well. But those stable kind of environments, they're great for kids. They're great for flourishing in your own neighborhood and for building a very good and successful life. So without any unnecessary words here, those three things are, in my opinion, the biggest advantages of home ownership that get overlooked a lot. And when you look at the bigger picture, buying a house seems like a really scary thing because you got to put a ton of money in. They're not cheap. It's not easy. It's a whole process. Sometimes there's bidding wars, there's foundation problems, there's scary things that can come up on the horizon. But zoom out a little bit and realize that if you're going to own this thing for a long, long time, odds are it's going to work out very nicely for you in the end. So folks, thank you very much for watching. I'm going to be doing an entire series on benefits of home ownership and tips for real estate buyers who are not investors from the investor world. If that's of interest to you, I invite you to subscribe, like the video, share with your friends, and I really sincerely hope to see you guys in the next time.